just 4 wins shy of a trip to the World Series. Kike Hernandez will get the start in center for tonight's NLCS Game 1. I have just one question. Are we live? Keep it clean, Kike. You too, Oral and Nomar. It's the Dodgers and Mets in 1 hour. Right now, it's lead off LA. Let's go. Face Bulldog right there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Lead Off LA. John Hartson, Nomar Garcia-Parra, Oral Hershiser, and a big group of Dodger fans ready to go after that thrilling 5-game series win over the Padres. They're ready to go for this National League Championship Series. And Oral, hopefully this year it works out just as well as it did for your 1988 Dodgers against the Mets in the NLCS.
It would be a lot of fun if it works out that way. You think about how that changed my life, how it changed our whole team's life. If they can do something special here against the Mets and then move on to the World Series and win it all, that will change their life for the rest of their life.
Yeah, it would be really great to see history repeat itself. I mean, if the Dodgers are able to go out there, maybe it doesn't have to go that many games, but, maybe they can do it a little sooner. But at the same time, huge challenge for the Dodgers. Obviously, we've seen what they've had to overcome, all the injuries, the adversity over the course of a year. But they just ended up beating a really hot Padres team. And now they got the Mets who are coming in hot as well. But we know they have a lot of fight in them.
Well, and also some news on the NLCS roster front for the Dodgers ahead of Game 1. Miguel Rojas, Alex Vesia have both been left off of the Dodgers NLCS roster. In their place, it'll be Kevin Kiermaier and Brent Honeywell Jr. Nomar, not really too big of a surprise after seeing Rojas and Vesia getting hurt in the NLDS.
No, we knew Rojas, prior to even the postseason, what he was dealing with, and the injury, trying to play through it. And we even saw over the course of the last series him trying to get through it as best he can, but obviously had to come out of the game. And then Vesia, this one was tough when we saw this happen. We were worried. We were like, is it that bad? We were hoping it was just a cramp. Obviously, it's more than a cramp. He left off the roster. So, yeah, it's no surprise due to the injury that these guys have. But at the same time, Dodgers been dealing with this all season. Next man up mentality. You got 2 guys filling in on the roster that are going to help, just like the other guys.
When you think about losing your starting shortstop and losing one of your best relievers, not only a best reliever on your team, but one in the whole National League. And then Miguel Rojas, he's kind of been the chemistry, the captain, the guy that really drives this team. He understands when to come in and visit the mound to make sure there's no pressure on the pitcher and to really get everybody focused. He does it in the locker room. He does it on the field. Hopefully he will do it still on the bench.
Well, and with the injury to Alex Vesia, that leaves Anthony Bonda as the lone left-hander on this Dodgers roster for the NLCS. The Mets just added a left-handed bat, Jeff McNeil, returning from injury. But, Oral, any cause for concern that the Dodgers only have one guy, one option from the left side?
Well, it's not the days where you come in and face one lefty and then all of a sudden you're out of the game and they go to the big hairy right-hander. Now you have to face at least 3 batters, and the Dodgers have enough out there. Guys who can own the inside part of the plate to lefties with their cutters. The right-handers do that. They've got guys who have some off-speed pitches, but you do really miss Alex Vesia, and Bonda will definitely be pitching maybe in every game.
Yeah, it's not ideal to have just one lefty in there, right? But at the same time, you look at the Mets, they don't have a whole lot of lefties. I mean, we're not looking at about 6 or 7 lefties in that lineup. So that's one positive. But at the same time, too, the Dodgers, when they look at the bullpen, Dave Roberts touched on that. He has confidence in all his pitchers that they can get righties and lefties out. So more on the leverage in the situation is when he's bringing those guys in. And I think it's just tough to lose a guy, but what Vesia has done over the course of the season. You're losing one of the best relievers in the National League. That's tough no matter whether he's left-handed or right-handed.
Yeah, especially if you want to bring a lefty in for a high leverage situation. Sometimes those come in the 4th or 5th inning. You would only have one time that you could burn that left-hander. We'll see how it plays out over the next week or so, beginning with Game 1 tonight. There is a chance, though, that Alex Vesia and Miguel Rojas could be activated and available for the World Series, but the Dodgers, of course, got a lot of work to do to get to that point. They need 4 more wins over the Mets. Right now, let's head inside the stadium for the first time. Kirsten Watson joins us live with more ahead of Game 1 of this NLCS. Hi there, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Well, yesterday coming into the team workout, there were a lot of questions about Alex Vesia and just first how he was doing. Dave Roberts said first and foremost, he is feeling better, but he was going to have to try to see if he can go through a workout. But he said it was unlikely that he would be a part of this series. As you guys have mentioned, he has been left off the roster as well as Miguel Rojas. But for Miguel yesterday, he was able to go through the full workout. He's been trying to put himself in the best position to be available for this series. Today, Andrew Friedman, he addressed the media and he talked about just some of the decisions that had to go into for this NLCS roster.
It was obviously difficult. We are a much better team with Miguel Rojas a part of what we're doing. Obviously he impacts the game in a lot of different ways, but just the re-aggravation of it, diving on defense and just how compromised the range would be, and the importance to get him right. Hopefully we can figure out how to win 4 games and have him alive for the next round, but it was one of those things that we felt like all we would do is set it back even more and have him not necessarily help us in this round and then also not be available. So it wasn't easy. It's unfortunate, but we've seen it a lot this year with the next man up mentality, and we saw it in the last round. We've had a lot of different things go on, and guys have elevated their game and stepped up.
Is Vesia someone who's an option for the next round, if in terms of his timeline?
We're hopeful. We're not sure, but it's something we're going to do everything we can to keep treating it and put him in position for that. So we're hopeful. It's 2 days later. We don't really know, but the early signs yesterday were optimistic, but who knows what that means.
So the hope is for Alex Vesia as well as Miguel Rojas to use this week to kind of get themselves in a good spot, and hopefully their team could put them in a position to be on that World Series roster. So that does mean that Kevin Kiermaier, he has made the roster from the position player side. He's, of course, an option off the bench and someone who gets a plus defender, especially in center field late in the games. It also gives him that option because with Freddie Freeman, he's in the lineup today. There is going to be a big question mark when it comes to tomorrow. It's coming off of a night game to a day game. He's going to be able to be out there. Then you're going to have 3 straight in New York. So with having Miguel Rojas off the roster, it gives them just another option in regard to some flexibility for having players available if they also need to take out Freddie Freeman at some point as well, guys.
As we say, it usually takes all 26 guys, sometimes more than 26 guys to get through this entire postseason. Kirsten, thank you very much. We'll check in with you again in just a moment. Right now, let's take a look at Dave Roberts' lineup card for Game 1 of the NLCS, facing Mets right-hander Kodai Senga. You've got Shohei leading it off, followed by Mookie and Freddie Freeman. Teoscar Hernandez in left field batting cleanup. Will Smith behind the plate hitting 5th. Max Muncy's in the 6th spot today. NLCS Game 5 hero, or DS Game 5 hero, Kike Hernandez batting 7th, starting in center field. Gavin Lux at 2nd, and Tommy Edman is at short, batting 9th. Nomar, what sticks out to you?
Well, one, it's good to see Freddie Freeman in there. We know what he has been dealing with, and he's really gutting it out once again. And here it is in Game 1, but always good to see him in the lineup.
No matter where anybody is hitting, you want them to make contact, cut back on the strikeouts like they did against San Diego. And making that contact, sometimes it's going to be loud and it's going to go deep, like the 2 Hernandez brothers.
Well, and with Miguel Rojas out for this series, Kike figures to be in the lineup every game of the National League Championship Series. Had that memorable Game 5 walk-off interview on Friday, but also in those post-game comments, he talked about how much he lives for October. And if you look at his career numbers in the postseason, Nomar, he's been one of the best players in baseball in the postseason.
Yeah, it's no surprise what he did the other night, because this is Kike Hernandez. We talked about his postseason, just incredible player in the postseason, the way he's able to handle it, the way he's supposed to slow things down, the way he's able to come through. This is why the Dodgers signed him, because they always expect to be in the postseason, and they know what Kike is capable of doing in the postseason. He did not disappoint once again. We saw that in that critical Game 5 So I expect him to be in the lineup from here on out. He should be in the lineup from here on out. And the other great thing about Kike Hernandez is just the versatility that he provides.
Yeah, Kike has high expectations for himself. And when you think about the season, he really hasn't put a season together where he has reached his own expectations. And I think he carries that weight with him in the regular season. But in the postseason, there are no numbers. There's no batting average. There's, oh, I didn't get an RBI or hit the last game. All there is your next at bat or your next play on defense. And he really can focus without that weight on his shoulders.
He loves the big stage. We got a big stage here at Dodger Stadium ahead of Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. Still more to come. All eyes on Freddie Freeman and that most famous ankle in Los Angeles earlier today. As you just saw, Freeman in the starting lineup for tonight's NLCS Game 1. In 6 games against the Mets this year, he hit .391, knocked in 8 runs. Plus, we'll dive into the Game 1 pitching matchup. Jack Flaherty gets the ball again for his hometown team. And after seeing Yu Darvish twice in the NLDS, Dodgers face another Japanese star, Kodai Senga, going for the Mets tonight. Here's the pitching matchup for Game 1 of the NLCS. Kodai Senga against Jack Flaherty. Both made 1 start in the division series round. Senga went 2 innings, gave up 1 earned run. Only made 1 start during the regular season due to shoulder and then triceps and calf injuries. So he will likely be on a pitch count for this game. Flaherty took the loss in Game 2, went 5 1/3, gave up 4 earned runs. It will be Flaherty's 6th career postseason start. Of course, the Dodgers pitching staff comes into this game riding a 24 scoreless inning streak. Oral, what's going to be the key for Jack Flaherty to kind of pick up where his staff left off against the Padres? Maybe not just keep putting up 0 after 0, but just to be putting his team in a position to win Game 1 tonight.
Well, he wants to be on the mound longer than Senga, that's for sure. Senga might only go like 3 innings. Jack needs to go 5 or 6. That would be awesome. For him to go that far, he needs to not make mistakes in the middle of the plate. And the way to do that is to check on the aggressiveness of the Mets. If the Mets are aggressive, he's very good at getting a swing and miss on chase pitches with his slider and his curveball, and then he can elevate his fastball. But if they're being patient, then he's going to have to hit halves of the plate, not the center of the plate, because when the center of the plate comes, that's when Lindor and these guys are going to let the bat go.
You know, it's really, really easy. It's all about execution and command, right? I know we say it time and time again, but it's easier said than done. Not easy to do as a pitcher, easy for Oral, but I mean, easy for others when you're going out there, especially on this big stage. But we make no mistake, Jack Flaherty has the ability, he has the makeup to go out there and do exactly that. He has the ability to execute and to have that command.
You know what I love? His fastball has movement, and I think movement is a priority in the playoffs because the adrenaline of the hitters, they can time a bullet in the regular season, they can time a bazooka in the postseason. So when I look at what he has to do, it's about movement and location and making your pitches.
Obviously, the Dodgers haven't faced the New York Mets in about 4.5 months. Jack Flaherty did not face the Mets earlier this year when he was pitching for the Tigers. In fact, he's only faced the Mets once in his career, and that came 5 years ago. Right now, let's head back inside the stadium. Check in once again with Kirsten Watson joining us live with more on Jack Flaherty getting the ball tonight. Hi there, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Well, look, as Oral Hershiser was just saying, when it came to Jack Flaherty, especially in the last outing against the Padres, he was able to get into the 6th inning, but was missing that swing and miss. And he said that afterwards. As much as he felt like the stuff was in a good spot, obviously that does pose a challenge, especially against a team. And with the Padres, there isn't much swing and miss in their game. So going into this one, Dave Roberts, he talked about Jack, what he wants to see from him. And Jack also he spoke to the media yesterday, talked about just carrying the momentum and the energy from the NLDS into this CS.
Questions. All right, here we go.
You know, I thought there was a lot of good things from Jack last series. I thought the command was better. I think more of the same. I think just, you know, to see him take down some more hitters, you know, he's going to compete. I think he's going to mix and match his sequencing, use his fastball when he needs to, keep him honest in, manage the game, navigate the lineup. But I think that, you know, he's built, I just feel he's built for moments like this. I think the pulse, the stuff, and yeah, I really feel a good one out of Jack tonight.
Just continue to do what we've been doing, which is throwing the ball really well, timely hitting, you know, allow some guys to relax a little bit and just go out and play. I think, you know, there was some tension going on in that series. It was 5-game series is a little tighter and whatnot, and maybe guys relax a little bit and, just go out and play our game and just continue to keep that energy up. After playing in an emotional filled series with San Diego, but to take that and continue to roll with it and keep rolling into Sunday and then on into New York.
So for Jack Flaherty, he is a player who takes a lot of pride in being ready for his outing. So when it comes to what Game 5 looked like against the Padres, he was in the bullpen. He was back there. He said that he was getting his mind ready just to be in case anything happened, in case of emergency, if he needed to come in and take down the bulk of the innings. Once, of course, we saw what Yoshinobu Yamamoto did, as well as the bullpen. Then it shifted gears into getting this Game 1 start. So yesterday was all about preparing for this matchup, looking over the footage, talking with the pitching coaches. So that is, and what he said today is just about using that momentum from the NLDS, not taking their foot off the gas. That's a shared feeling amongst the clubhouse right now. They go back to 2021. They felt like that's what happened against the Braves in that series. So right now it's just about carrying it over and keeping it going full throttle and full speed ahead, guys.
All right, set that tone early for this entire series in this game. Thank you very much, Kirsten. Still more to come. Dave Roberts and Clayton Kershaw have seen a lot of October baseball in their career. Tonight will be Doc's 90th career postseason game as the Dodgers manager. 48 postseason managerial victories, 6th most all time. Plus, Mookie Betts broke out of his postseason slump in a big way. He homered in back-to-back games against the Padres. We'll count down the top plays from that thrilling 5-game series win coming up next. Andrew Friedman on the field before Game 1 of the NLCS, the architect of a 98-win team during the regular season. Now looking for 11 wins in the postseason. It's 3 down, 8 to go for Andrew Friedman and the Dodgers, looking to take on the Mets coming up at the top of the hour. 48 hours ago, we were here getting ready for Game 5 against the Padres. Of course, we all know how that one turned out great for the Dodgers, and it's certainly worth revisiting one more time. Right now, let's count down the top 10 plays of the NLDS victory over the Show Pods. Number 10, Oral, Game 1. Last Saturday, Blake Trinan comes in and gets a 5-out save.
He was hitting his spots. He had great movement. He understood when he needed to throw a strike and when he could get a chase. He continued to really pitch well. This is a guy, a veteran at the back end of the bullpen. You can use him anywhere in the game, but now the Dodgers have moved him to even higher leverage. Not always the assignment as much as the inning.
Number 9, Game 3 in San Diego, Tommy Edman making a slick catch in center field.
Walker Buehler in this outing was going out there. He was attacking the hitters, and you got to realize that you have a great defense behind him. He knows that, not afraid to pitch to contact when you see great plays like that behind you. Tommy Edman, this versatility out there in center field making a great play.
Number 8, Freddie Freeman played in 4 of the 5 games on a badly injured right ankle. Oral, he gutted it out, had a couple base hits, stole a base.
I couldn't believe that he stole this base. He gets the base hit, and you watch him hobble down to first base. And, of course, I can set him up. He's asking for the time on the delivery down there at first base. He says, it's long enough. I think I can make it. I couldn't believe he went, and you see the pain that he's playing in by every time he takes a step.
Number 7, Game 1, Blake Trinan on the mound, and it's always great to have great defense on the middle of the infield. Dodgers had that.
I mean, Miguel Rojas makes this look way too easy. When you're going over the shoulder catch, you're going out there, and then you also know that the outfielders are coming in, they're sprinting in, especially in the postseason game. You're thinking you just increase your range, so you're going in hard, and then you have Gavin Lux coming up with a huge play right there. He's been playing good defense all season.
Number 6, we got to go to the K-zone for this. Game 3, Dodgers down 6-1 in the 3rd inning. Oral, and Teoscar Hernandez with one swing gets the Dodgers within 1.
2-strike hitting, fell behind in the count, but continued to focus and battle. And when he gets this pitch, boy, it goes a long way. His natural swing is so powerful that he doesn't have to overswing, and even in a 2-strike count, he's got light tower power.
Man, head down, on contact, see ya.
Grand slam for Teoscar Hernandez, and then he would, of course, hit a huge home run in Game 5, which we will be seeing momentarily. At number 5, Games 3 and 4 in San Diego, Mookie Betts said goodbye, Nomar, to that postseason slump.
It was great to see Mookie Betts get on the board. Thought he had one the day before, but that was taken away at Dodger Stadium. We're still wondering, where were the fans there? Oh, by the way, fans, don't let that happen again. No. So, we got a new series here. But Mookie Betts hitting that one out in San Diego, and then this one making sure no one can get to that one. Great to see.
At number 4, Game 1, Dodgers down 3-0 in the second inning until the big show happened.
Was there any doubt? Shohei Ohtani arrives in October with a 3-run home run.
Changed the game with one swing.
Changed the team chemistry, changed what's going on the bench, the fans. It gave us the extra man. There were definitely 10 men on the field after that swing.
What a blast by Ohtani. Number 3, elimination Game 5. Yoshinobu Yamamoto responded in a big way. Nomar, 5 scoreless innings against the Padres.
This was huge. This is exactly what the Dodgers needed, especially when the Padres throughout the season it seemed like had Yamamoto's number. But in the biggest moment of the season, in the biggest game, Yamamoto comes through, he delivers, shutout innings, just an unbelievable performance by Yamamoto.
And picked up his first career postseason win in the process. Number 2 on the offensive side of Game 5. Oral, it was a two-man show. The Hernandez brothers, no relation.
You know, it is so great to watch these guys hit. That's must-watch TV. And it's must-listen when they have interviews after the game. One will bring smiles to your face. The other one, you want to put cotton in your ears. But I'll tell you what, they are a lot of fun to watch hit, and especially hit like that in October.
That was Kike's blast, Nomar. And then, you know, Teo didn't miss that one either.
I mean, when you get a ball in the middle of the plate, you saw Darvish, he knew it. He didn't have to see it. He just heard it. And then you hear the roar of the crowd. I mean, this place was electric. Everybody on their feet after that one. Teo hit that a long way.
Place was rocking, shaking at Dodger Stadium. At number 1, that we remember the Dodgers were down 2-1 in this series, facing elimination in Games 4 and Games 5. In Oral, the Dodgers responded with shutout baseball in both games. The bullpen, lights out.
It is so hard to get this many guys to come into a game and be on their game, and they have. And we're now in the midst of a 24-inning scoreless streak because of these arms and this composure. Do an amazing job in the bullpen when they're getting ready, watching the game and knowing their role, getting them warmed up and passing the baton in a serious manner.
And it all culminated with that photo on the field and a champagne celebration at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers now 4 wins shy of a trip to the Fall Classic. Mookie Betts, 3 career home runs in the World Series. Hard to believe, though, Mookie has not homered in 18 career League Championship Series games, challenging him in this series. That could change tonight. Dodgers and Mets at the top of the hour. Straight ahead, much more on Game 1 of the NLCS with Jack Flaherty getting the start tonight. We will look back at the season series between the Dodgers and Mets, the showdown between Shohei and Francisco Lindor, plus Kirsten talks one-on-one with Brent Honeywell Jr. just added to the NLCS roster today. Access is coming up next.
ロサンゼルス・ドジャースの大谷翔平選手が緊急もその圧倒的なパフォーマンスでファンやメディアを驚かせました。彼は辻地球に日本時間3時日、ロッキーズとの最終戦で一番指名打者として憲法出場し、私大衆一安打義堂砦を記録。最終的に大陸は3-0でリーグ加2位に終わり、嬉しくも三冠王は逃しましたが、無実資本砦ストーと敗散なら期待点でリーグ一丸をほぼ確実なものにしました。また、日本人選手として手のトリプルスリ、参加、3資本砦第3自動砦ツも達成し、特に緊急は揚州の手術を受けた影響で打者に専念する中で、バッターとして自己最高の成績を叩き出しました。大子が大職で圧倒的な成績を残したのは、特にシーズン中盤の活躍が極露っていました。無視資本砦第130大点という数字はキャリアハイで、これまでの自己最高であった威厳に時事1年のパタシツ流本砦第100大点を大幅に更新しています。さらに、一番打者としての起用が多かった緊急では、1900騎士安打、年産自主的点という成績も自己最高記録となり、2000、2年の川柳士、安打や2年、21年の白山的点を大きく上回る結果となりました。また、大陸3点異例もオレソチにとってメジャー記念目にして最高の数字でシーズン通しての安定感を示しました。さらに、私白州鍵取りでダーヤ9時球場台、 産地発地取りで大、六木2匹を含めると市に大記事部門で自己最高の記録を樹立しました。特に注目すべきは頭取手数の大幅な増加です。大根は2021年には26頭取手を記録していましたが、近旧はその2倍以上の59頭取手を達成。これにより2001年にイチローが記録した56頭取手を抜き、日本人選手として最多の頭取で記録を樹立しました。通常シーズン中盤になると成績が落ち込む選手も多いな。同魚は9月に入っても使いを維持し、100が7台数で42安打、大陸3魚93、10本取りで大32台点、そして16胴取りでという敬義的な成績を残しました。9月にこのような成績を記録できたことが、第5のスタミナや集中力の高さを物語っています。このような圧倒的な成績を残した大野ですが、来世には再び西間流の復活が期待されています。彼は3月下旬からキャッチ、ボールを再開し、8月にはブルペンでの投球も再開しています。これにより、来季の開幕からは投手としても活躍することが見込まれており、ドジャスの編成、本部長であるアンドリュー・フリードマン氏も、大工には世界でとも才能のある投手の一人であり、二刀流でチームに多くの勝利をもたらしてくれるだろうとその才能を高く評価しています。投手としての男の復活はチームにとって大きな期待が寄せられています。しかしここで一部の非メディアからは、大悟が毎年三冠王を奪える大者であるならば大者に専念すべきではないかという声も上がっています。大悟の大器があまりにも素晴らしいために二刀流ではなく大者天然を望む意見が出てくるのも無理はありません。確かにこれほどの大小成績を残す選手が投手としても負担を抱え続けるのはリスクがあると考える人が多いのも仕事です。しかし二刀流として活躍し続けるワイキノソスガは彼のたみだまれな才能と努力の快挙であり、多くのファンがその両立を望んでいます。大者としての天然論が再燃する中、大悟が今後も二刀流としてさらなる進化を遂げるのか、それとも大者として新たな高みを目指すのか、その闘争が注目されます。いずれにしても彼の才能がどのような形で発揮されるにせよ、そのプレーがファンを魅了し続けることは間違いありません。